I caught my wife cheating with her boss. When he smirked and said, "She's not yours anymore," I made sure he'd never walk straight again. Then I divorced her and vanished from her life without a word. I'm a 36-year-old oral and maxillofacial surgeon. My wife Florence was a 33-year-old internist. We'd been married for 8 years, together for 11. I thought we had it all figured out. Combined income over $600,000, beautiful house, talking about kids next year. Turns out I was living in a effing fantasy. Last Thursday, I was supposed to be at a medical conference in Boston for 3 days. Keynote speaker had a family emergency, whole first day got cancelled. Instead of staying at the airport hotel like an idiot, I caught a flight home. Didn't text Florence because I wanted to surprise her, maybe take her to that new steakhouse she'd been wanting to try. I pulled into our driveway at 2 p.m. Her Mercedes was there, which was odd since she should have been at the hospital. Harrison's Range Rover was parked on the street. Dr. Harrison Wells, chief of medicine at her hospital. I knew him professionally, arrogant prick who acted like he invented medicine. Why would he be at my house in the middle of a workday? I walked in through the garage, set my keys down quietly out of habit. That's when I heard it. Sounds coming from upstairs. From our bedroom. My bedroom. The bed I paid $8,000 for because Florence wanted the perfect Swedish memory foam whatever the F. I took the stairs slowly. Each step felt like walking through cement. The master bedroom door was half open. I could see the mirror on our dresser, and in that mirror, I could see the bed. I could see my wife riding another man. I could see Harrison's smug effing face, his hands on her hips, in my bed, in my house. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds. My brain just stopped working. Then Harrison opened his eyes, looked directly at the mirror, and saw me. You know what this mother effer did? He smiled. He effing smiled at me and said, loud enough for me to hear, "Don't worry about him. You're not his anymore." Florence turned around, saw me, and scrambled off him, grabbing a sheet. She started with the classics, "Maverick, this isn't what it looks like. Let me explain. Please, baby, just listen." I didn't hear any of it. All I saw was Harrison, still lying in my bed, still smirking, not even bothering to cover himself. He actually stretched, put his hands behind his head, and said, she needed a real man who understood her ambitions. Someone on her level. You should thank me for taking her off your hands. That's when I snapped. I'm a surgeon. My hands are insured for $2 million. They're my livelihood, my art, my precision instruments. And I used them to destroy Harrison Wells. I dragged him out of bed by his throat. He swung at me, missed. Soft academics always think they can fight. I hit him once in the ribs and felt them crack. He dropped, gasping. I should have stopped there. Didn't. I got on top of him and kept going. Orbital bone. Nose. When he tried to cover his face, I grabbed his knee and twisted until I felt the ligaments pop. Florence was screaming, trying to pull me off. I remember throwing her aside, not hard, just enough to get her away from me. She hit the dresser, knocked over her jewelry box, all that expensive SHT I'd bought her scattered across the floor. Diamonds and gold mixing with Harrison's blood on my Persian rug. When Harrison stopped moving, still breathing, just unconscious, I stood up, walked to the bathroom, washed my hands, and called 911. This is Dr. Maverick, last name. I need police and paramedics at address. I just caught my wife in bed with another man and I've beaten him unconscious. He needs medical attention. No, I'm not a threat to anyone. Yes, I'll wait for police. I walked downstairs, sat on my porch, and waited. Florence tried to come outside, still wrapped in our sheet, mascara running down her face. I looked at her once and said, if you come near me, I'll consider it a threat and respond accordingly. Go back inside. The cops showed up first. I explained everything calmly. 2 officers went inside while 1 stayed with me. The paramedics arrived, took Harrison out on a stretcher. Broken ribs, fractured orbital bone, torn ACL, severe concussion. Florence tried to tell the police I attacked Harrison unprovoked. The female officer looked at her, standing there in a bedsheet, then at the bedroom that reeked of sex, and just said, "Ma'am, please get dressed." They took me to the station. I called Wade, my lawyer buddy from college. By the time we were done, the cops were apologizing to me. Castle doctrine in our state, man enters your home and F's your wife, you're allowed to defend your property and marriage. Harrison's own words, which Florence had to confirm, he said, sealed it. No charges filed. I got home at 11 p.m. Florence was gone, probably at the hospital with her broken boyfriend. I went into beast mode. Every single thing of hers went into trash bags. Clothes, shoes, photos, everything. Even the SHT from her office, her medical school diplomas, her awards, that stupid world's best doctor mug her patients gave her. All of it went on the curb. I texted her once, "Your belongings are on the curb. You have until garbage pickup tomorrow at 7 a.m. to collect them. Don't ever come back to this house." Then I blocked her on everything. Phone, email, social media. Complete radio silence. That was 4 days ago. Since then, I've filed for divorce, changed the locks, installed security cameras, and started the process of erasing 8 years of marriage like it never happened. The medical community is small. Word's already spreading. Harrison's on administrative leave. Florence has been suspended pending investigation. Their careers are effed and I haven't even started the civil suit yet. My brother Tommy thinks I went too far with the beating. Wade says I showed remarkable restraint not cling him. Me? I feel nothing. No rage, no sadness, just nothing. Is that normal? I don't know why I'm posting this. Maybe I just needed to tell someone who doesn't know me. My life just imploded and all I can think about is how I need to reschedule my surgeries for next week. Edit, to everyone asking, yes, I have evidence of the affair. The security system I installed last year for insurance purposes? It backs up to the cloud. The bedroom cameras caught everything from the last 2 weeks while I was reviewing footage. They've been effing in my house for months. Update 1, posted 3 days later. Update, she's losing everything and still won't stop trying to contact me. Lot of you asked for updates. Here's where we're at. First, my hands are fine. Thanks for the concern. X-rays confirmed no fractures. I can operate without issues. Already back in the OR yesterday, did a complex jaw reconstruction. Steady as ever. Now for the SHT show that is Florence's life. Harrison's effed. Hospital board terminated him yesterday. Turns out when you're chief of medicine effing a subordinate, that's a massive liability issue. They didn't even wait for a full investigation. The beating I gave him just made it easier. He can't show his face without everyone knowing he got his sauce destroyed by the husband of the woman he was effing. Florence is done at that hospital too. Suspended without pay pending investigation, but we all know how this ends. She's already been told to start looking elsewhere. Good luck explaining in interviews why you left your previous position. Here's where it gets interesting. I've been getting calls and texts from numbers I don't recognize. Florence is using burner phones, her sister's phone, co-workers' phones, everything. I don't answer, but they leave voicemails. I had Wade listen to them for legal purposes. Some highlights. Maverick, please, it's been 4 months. He meant nothing. You're throwing away 11 years. You broke his effing face. He might never walk normally again. You're a doctor, how could you do this? I make one mistake and you destroy my entire life? You're a effing sociopath. Baby, I know you're hurting. Let's talk about this. We can go to counseling. The delusion is incredible. One mistake? Wade had my pie dig deeper. They've been effing since at least February. She told multiple colleagues we were having problems and that our marriage was essentially over. I never got that memo. I was planning our anniversary trip to Bora Bora. Her sister Diana showed up at my practice yesterday. My receptionist handled it like a champion, told her she needed to leave or security would escort her out. Diana made a scene, screaming about how I'm destroying Florence, how she's staying with her parents now, how she cries every night. My waiting room was full of patients. They all heard. One older lady actually said, "Good for him," loud enough for everyone to hear. The best part? I found out through a colleague that Florence and Harrison were planning to present together at the American Medical Association conference next month. The topic? Maintaining professional boundaries in hospital settings. You can't make this SHT up. My lawyer says the divorce will be straightforward. We have a prenup, she fought against it back then, said it meant I didn't trust her. Guess I was right not to. She gets what she brought in, her medical school debt, about $180,000 left, and her personal belongings. I keep the house, the investment accounts, my practice, everything else. Oh, and I'm suing Harrison. Not for the affair, for intentional infliction of emotional distress and trespassing. Wade says we can probably get mid-6 figures. I don't need the money. I want the judgment on record. Every time someone Googles him, they'll know he got sued for effing another man's wife and got his sauce beaten into the hospital. People keep asking how I'm doing. Honestly? I'm great. Sleeping 8 hours. Haven't missed a workout. Work is busier than ever, apparently, Being a surgeon who beats the SHT out of his wife's lover makes you something of a legend in certain circles. 3 new referrals yesterday alone. The house feels different without her, but not empty. Peaceful. I threw out our mattress, bought a new one. Replaced all the bedding. Had a deep cleaning service scrub everything. It's like she never existed. My brother came by last night with beer and pizza. We sat on the deck, watched the game. He asked if I ever loved her. I thought about it. I loved who I thought she was. But that person never existed, did she? The real Florence was always this, a cheater waiting for the right opportunity. Someone in my last post said the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. They're right. I don't hate Florence. I nothing her. She's just a mistake I made in my 30s. An expensive mistake, but I've paid more for less valuable lessons. Wade just texted. Florence's lawyer reached out wanting to negotiate. She wants to keep her car, that I paid for, wants me to pay off her loans, wants emotional support payments. I told Wade to respond with 2 words, see prenup. I'll update again when something significant happens. For now, I've got surgeries to perform and a life to live. One that doesn't include Florence. Update 2, posted 2 weeks after original. The karma train has no brakes. You want to know what desperation smells like? It's Florence showing up at my hospital at 6 a.m. trying to ambush me in the parking garage. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me catch you up on the last 2 weeks of Florence's self-destruction. First, Harrison. Dude's properly effed. Beyond losing his job, the state medical board is investigating him for ethics violations. Turns out I wasn't his first rodeo. 3 previous hospitals, 3 previous relationships with subordinates. 1 resulted in a quiet settlement. Florence was just the latest in a pattern. She thought she was special. She was just next. He's also struggling with the injuries. Orbital fractures don't heal overnight. ACL tears even less so. He'll need at least 2 surgeries to walk properly again. His insurance is fighting coverage since the injuries resulted from criminal activity, the affair, not my beating, clever lawyer speak. He's looking at $200,000 in medical bills minimum. Now Florence. Jesus Christ, Florence. She's working at an urgent care clinic in the ghetto. Went from making $250,000 at a prestigious hospital to maybe $90,000 doing strep throat swabs and STD tests. She had to move back with her parents, 2 physicians in their 60s having their failure daughter back in her childhood bedroom. But here's where it gets pathetic. She created fake social media accounts to stalk me. I know because she effed up. She watched my Instagram story from an account with her middle name and her birth year. Amateur hour. I blocked it. 5 more pop up. I set everything to private and moved on. Then came the letter. An actual, physical letter mailed to my office. 4 pages, handwritten, absolutely unhinged. It started with my darling Maverick and ended with I'll wait forever for you to forgive me. In between was every cliché you can imagine. How Harrison manipulated her. How she was lonely because I worked too much. How the sex meant nothing and she was thinking of me the whole time. That last line made me laugh so hard my surgical assistant thought I was having a breakdown. I gave the letter to Wade for the files. He's building quite the harassment case. So back to this morning. I pull into the hospital garage at 6 a.m. like always. I see someone sitting on the hood of my Porsche. It's Florence, dressed in scrubs like she still works here, holding 2 coffees. Hi baby, she says, like we're meeting for a casual breakfast. I got your usual. Venti dark roast, no sugar, splash of oat milk. I stopped about 10 feet away, pulled out my phone, and called hospital security without saying a word to her. Maverick, please. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes after 11 years. I just stared at her while the phone rang. Security picked up. This is Dr. Maverick. There's a trespasser sitting on my vehicle in the physician's garage. Level 3, spot 15. No, not dangerous, just trespassing. Thank you. Her face went from desperate to angry. You're really going to have me arrested? You're trespassing on private property and violating a restraining order. What did you expect? That's when she lost it. Started screaming about how I ruined her life, how she gave me her best years, how I'm a effing psychopath who can't feel real emotions. The parking garage has great acoustics. Everyone heard. Dr. Rodriguez from cardiology walked by, saw the scene, and just shook his head at Florence like she was pathetic. Security arrived. 2 guys I know well. I did jaw surgery on one's daughter last year. They were gentle but firm. Florence tried to resist, Started crying about how she used to work here. They didn't care. They escorted her out while she sobbed. I went to my office, made a call to Wade, and got ready for my first surgery. By lunch, everyone knew. The nurses, the residents, even the effing janitors. Florence showing up like a crazy ex-girlfriend, getting dragged out by security. Her professional reputation, whatever was left of it, is now completely destroyed. But wait, there's more. Harrison reached out to me. Not directly, he's not that stupid. Through his lawyer. He wants to settle everything quietly. Apparently, his ex-wife is using my beating him as evidence in their custody battle. She's arguing he's unfit to parent if he's getting hospitalized for effing married women. He wants me to sign something saying the beating was mutual combat or some BS. I told Wade to tell his lawyer to go F himself. Politely. In legal terms. The funniest part? Florence's parents called me. Her parents. Two 60-something doctors who raised their daughter to be a cheater are trying to guilt-trip me. Her dad, stern voice and all, talking about forgiveness and second chances and how Florence is suffering enough. I said, "Doctor, her dad's name, with all due respect, your daughter effed another man in my bed for 4 months while lying to my face every day. She's suffering the consequences of her choices. That's not my problem. Don't contact me again." He started to respond. I hung up. Tonight, I've got a date. Yeah, you read that right. Nothing serious, just drinks with a pharmaceutical rep who's been flirting with me for years. Tall blonde, legs for days, actually faithful to her partners based on her reputation. Florence will probably hear about it through the medical grapevine. Good. You know what's funny? Florence always said I was emotionally unavailable and didn't fight for us. She was right about the first part. I am emotionally unavailable, to cheaters. As for fighting for us? Why would I fight for someone who spread her legs for another man the moment things got routine? I'm sleeping like a baby. My surgeries are going perfectly. My portfolio is up 12%. Life is good when you cut out the cancer. Wade says Florence's lawyer is pushing for mediation. They want to contest the prenup, claim it was signed under duress because it was too close to the wedding. It was signed 8 months before the wedding. Good luck with that, Florence. Update 3, posted 1 month after original. Sometimes the trash takes itself out permanently. This will probably be my last update for a while. The Justice PN has reached its natural conclusion. Let's start with Harrison. Remember how he wanted me to sign something saying our fight was mutual combat? Yeah, his ex-wife's lawyer subpoenaed me for their custody hearing. I told the truth, walked in on him effing my wife, he taunted me, I beat his sauce. Judge awarded his ex-wife full custody with supervised visitation only. But that's not even the best part. Harrison developed a post-surgical infection. Apparently, when you get your sauce beaten and need emergency surgery, sometimes SHT goes wrong. The infection spread to his bone. Osteomyelitis. He'll need 4 antibiotics for 6 weeks minimum and might have permanent mobility issues. Karma's a effing surgeon sometimes. He's also bankrupt. Between the medical bills, losing his job, paying his ex-wife's legal fees, and child support on a now non-existent income, he's filing Chapter 7. The mighty chief of medicine is now a broke, limping, infected mess who sees his kids every other weekend in a supervised facility. Now for Florence. Remember that urgent care job? Lasted 2 weeks. She showed up drunk to a shift. Not tipsy, drunk. They breathalyzed her, 0.12 BAC at 7 a.m. Fired on the spot and reported to the state medical board. Her license is now under review. She's spiraling. Her sister Diana reached out to my brother Tommy begging him to make me talk to Florence because she's drinking herself to death. Tommy laughed and told her Florence made her bed when she decided to F another man in mine. The prenup held. Every single clause. She got exactly what she brought into the marriage, debt and regret. The divorce was finalized yesterday. 8 years of marriage dissolved in a 15-minute hearing. She didn't even show up. Her lawyer appeared alone, looking embarrassed. But here's where this story takes a turn I didn't expect. 3 days ago, I get a call from Florence's father at 2 a.m. Florence attempted SCD. Pills and vodka. Her mom found her unconscious in her childhood bedroom next to a note that apparently mentioned me dozens of times. They wanted me to come to the hospital. Her dad actually said, "She needs to see you to get closure." I said, "Your daughter's mental health is not my responsibility. She chose to destroy our marriage. She chose to drink. She chose to take those pills. I'm done choosing anything for her. Get her professional help and lose my number. Cold? Maybe. But what the F did they expect? That I'd rush to her bedside, forgive everything, and we'd ride off into the sunset? She made her choices. Every single one. From the first time she kissed Harrison to the moment she swallowed those pills. She survived, obviously. Baker acted for 72 hours. Now in a psychiatric facility for 30 days minimum. Her medical license is definitely gone now. SCD attempt plus alcohol abuse equals career over. At 33, she went from being a respected physician with a $250,000 salary to an unemployed, divorced, psychologically broken woman living with her parents. Meanwhile, my life has upgraded significantly. That pharmaceutical rep I mentioned? We've been seeing each other regularly. Nothing serious yet, but she's everything Florence wasn't: loyal, straightforward, actually attracted to me and not just my status. The SX is incredible too. Turns out when your partner actually wants you and isn't thinking about someone else, it shows. My practice is thriving. I've expanded, brought in a partner to handle overflow. My investment properties are all rented. I'm in the best shape of my life, started doing MMA training to channel any leftover anger. Turns out I'm pretty good at it. Who knew beating Harrison's sauce would unlock a new hobby? Tommy asked me if I feel guilty about Florence's SCD attempt. I thought about it for maybe 5 seconds. No. I feel nothing. She fired a bullet at our marriage and it ricocheted back and hit her. That's not my fault or my problem. Her parents are telling people I'm responsible for her breakdown. The medical community sees it differently. I'm the surgeon who handled being cheated on like a boss. She's the cautionary tale residents gossip about, the attending who effed her boss and lost everything. Wade's fielding calls from her lawyer about post-divorce support given her current mental state. We responded with a copy of the prenup and a reminder that adultery forfeits any claim to support. They're also trying to claim I traumatized her by beating Harrison in front of her. Wade's response was beautiful. Dr. Florence witnessed the natural consequences of her adultery. If that was traumatic, perhaps she shouldn't have committed adultery. I'm done with updates unless something major happens. Florence is in a psych ward. Harrison is a broken, bankrupt single dad with supervised visitation. I'm effing a hot pharma rep and making more money than ever. To everyone saying I should have shown mercy, why? They didn't show me any when they were effing in my bed. They didn't show me any when Harrison taunted me about taking my wife. Florence didn't show me any for 4 months of lies. You get what you effing deserve. Both of them got exactly that. Final update, posted 6 months after original. The opposite of love really is indifference. Wasn't planning on updating again, but enough has happened that I figured I'd give you all closure on this saga. First, let me address the elephant in the room, Florence. She's alive, out of the psych facility, and completely irrelevant to my life. Last I heard through the medical grapevine, she's working as a medical consultant for an insurance company, reviewing claims, not practicing medicine. Maybe $70,000 a year if she's lucky. Still living with her parents. Still single. Her medical license was suspended for 2 years minimum. Harrison moved to Arkansas or some SHT. Took a job as a medical director at some rural clinic, code for only place that would hire him. His ex-wife told my lawyer he's barely making child support payments. Walks with a permanent limp. Can't operate anymore because of nerve damage in his hand from the beating. Karma's got a medical degree apparently. But I'm not here to gloat about their misery. I'm here because something happened last week that gave me the final closure to this chapter. I was at a medical conference in Vegas. Big cardiothoracic surgery symposium. I'm there presenting on a new technique I developed for complex jaw reconstructions. Standing at the bar after my presentation, feeling good, when I hear a familiar voice. Maverick? I turn. It's Florence. She looks different. Older. Thinner. That spark she used to have in her eyes is dead. She's wearing a basic business suit, not the designer stuff she used to love. Conference badge says insurance liaison not MD after her name. Florence. Can we talk? Just for a minute? I looked at my watch, Rolex she gave me for our 5th anniversary. You have until I finish this whiskey, she launched into this speech. Clearly rehearsed. About how sorry she was. How she threw away the best thing in her life. How Harrison was a mistake. How she thinks about me every day. How she's in therapy now and understands what she did wrong. I let her finish. Took the last sip of my whiskey. Set the glass down. Florence, I need you to understand something. This conversation? It's not for me. It's for you. You're looking for forgiveness to make yourself feel better. I'm not angry at you. I don't hate you. I nothing you. You're a stranger who happens to know things about my past. That's all. Her eyes filled with tears. We were married for 8 years. No. I was married to someone I thought existed. That person was fiction. You? You're just someone who lived in my house and effed another man in my bed. I loved you. No. You loved what I represented. The lifestyle, the status, the security. If you loved me, you wouldn't have spread your legs for Harrison the first time he showed interest. She tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. Maverick, please. Don't you feel anything? Yeah. I feel glad my next meeting is starting soon. I walked away. She called after me. I didn't turn around. Later that night, the pharmaceutical rep I've been seeing, Brooke, no wait, can't use that name. Let's call her Steph. Steph flew in to spend the weekend with me. We're actually getting serious. She's moving in next month. Funnier, smarter, and infinitely more loyal than Florence ever was. That interaction with Florence confirmed what I already knew. I made the right choice. No forgiveness. No second chances. No mercy for betrayal. Some of you will think I'm cold. That I should feel something, anger, sadness, something. But why? She made her choice. I made mine. She chose Harrison's DK. I chose self-respect. She chose destruction. I chose indifference. My practice is now the largest oral surgery center in the state. I bought a vacation home in Aspen. Started racing cars as a hobby. Turns out I like going fast and taking calculated risks. Who knew? Steph and I are planning a month in Europe this summer. Life isn't just good. It's exceptional. To anyone reading this who's been cheated on, this is your sign. Don't take them back. Don't show mercy. Don't feel guilty when they self-destruct. They made their choice the moment they betrayed you. Your only choice is whether to respect yourself enough to walk away. I did. Best decision of my life. Florence, if you somehow read this, stop trying. Stop hoping. Stop existing in my periphery. You killed us the first time you effed Harrison. Everything after was just the funeral. To everyone else, this is it. Story's over. The hero won. The villain's lost. Life goes on. Remember, the opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. And I'm completely, totally, beautifully indifferent. Edit, final thoughts from comments. Since a lot of you are asking similar questions in the comments, let me clear some things up. You're a sociopath/psychopath/narcissist, cool. I'm a successful sociopath with an amazing girlfriend, thriving career, and no cheating ex-wife. I'll take it. Violence is never the answer. Violence is sometimes the perfect answer. Harrison learned that when his orbital bone met my fist. Haven't had any problems since. You should have been the bigger person. I'm 6'2" and 215 pounds. I was literally the bigger person when I was rearranging Harrison's face. Florence deserved a second chance. No. She deserved exactly what she got. Nothing more, nothing less. What if Steph cheats on you? Then she'll get the same treatment. But she won't, because I learned my lesson. I know the red flags now. Florence taught me what to avoid. You'll regret this when you're older. I'll regret it so much while I'm retired at 50, traveling the world with a loyal partner, enjoying the life I built without a cheating anchor dragging me down. This is fake/creative writing. Everything on the internet is fake. Enjoy the story or move on. You need therapy. Therapy is for people who feel bad about their decisions. I sleep like a baby. To the men who messaged me privately about their own situations, stop being weak. Stop accepting disrespect. Your wife sucking another man's DK isn't a mistake or a moment of weakness. It's a choice. Treat it accordingly. To the women saying I'm why they're afraid to date, if you don't cheat, you've got nothing to worry about. If you do cheat, yeah, you should be afraid. That's it. I'm out. Story's done. Stop asking for updates, there won't be any. Florence is the past. Steph is the present. The future is whatever the F I want it to be. And it won't include anyone who betrays me. Peace. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.